Good day, beautiful family. And I mean that word with the bottom of my heart. Beautiful family. I'm coming to you all, my family, my friends, to try to share a word or words that may help us to understand the significance of purpose, times that we are in, and the urgency for us to come together. I come to many of you all in different communities. I may say words differently. I might bring on a new thought process from time to time, but for the most part, it's repetitious. So I'm asking you all to please listen, open up your heart and mind, and let's do what we were ordained to do. I don't know you all's spiritual, educational levels, but I do know that you are great people. And sometimes we can't see our own greatness because of what we have experienced by way of trauma, tragedy, trauma, tragic events, heartaches, disappointment. I'm going to say a few things, go verify it. After you verify what I'm about to say, both in real time, history, and spiritual, you will understand the importance of what we must do. Family, when you study scripture, every time God tries to awaken the people, he either does one thing, he lets events happen by either his permissive will or active will. What's the permissive will? He lets Satan have his way. What's his active will? He makes it happen. I want you all to understand that we are in a very significant time of chastisement, and we can come up under it. Proverbs says, wise men love chastisement and rebuke, while the foolish rebuke it. I will say this, family. This is a warning to us all. God has let and allowed Satan to run amok in creating these genetically mutated diseases for the purpose of eliminating people. He forced the world to shut down. Know how this demon loves money and the economy. And when God allowed it to shut down, he forced us into our homes, into one another. When we don't adhere, you all are parents now. Some of us are grandparents. When our children don't adhere to the instructions and the chastisement that we inflict on them, what do we do next? We go a little harder. We strengthen the chastisement. So the world shut down, and when the world shut down, it forced us into our homes. Many couldn't go to work. Many have lost their jobs because the job wasn't able to maintain itself absent of employees. We haven't recovered from that, family. But what did it do? It forced us into our homes. It forced us to assess what we got. It forced us to have a reality check. Did we build our homes and did we build our communities? In it, whenever God chastises us, he offers us a new tool. When I say new, family, this family and friend sharing is a concept brought to us in the time of the pandemic, and we as communities are supposed to come together. The problem is we haven't learned that yet. So we're doing something good, but we misusing the good by not coming together. What's the evidence of that? There are multiple so-called family and friend sharing that has swept this country. And we're doing it in such large numbers, we're not coming together. So we're having small glimpses of successes individually, but we're not having holistic successes. We have to let go of foolish pride and come together. I'm watching, I'm learning, I'm watching communities that started off thriving and failing. Why are they failing? Because the main concept is not being activated. Family and friends sharing. So, if we want to secure a future for our children and our grandchildren, we have to be the model of how to come together, how to build communities. That's the only way that we will thrive. Hmm. We use language, and I'm going to, by the hope of God, help us to rid ourselves of certain languages that offers us excuses. God gave us the blueprint from the beginning. When he created male and female, created them both to come together and gave them a very specific instruction. Be fruitful and multiply. Well, whatever we multiply, we must take care of. Right? So we hear that, you know, it's very difficult for me to go get two people. You don't have two people in your life that you care about to be fruitful with, to share a blessing to. The overall goal is to build a community of people who want the same thing. The money is a byproduct, but we all want peace, happiness, and security. We were taught that If we did this work, we would have good homes. We would have fresh, I'm sorry, let me get that right. If we did this right, we would have good homes and friendships in all walks of life. But the friendships have to be the foundation. The family dynamic has to be the foundation that is key to our community. I am tired of watching Chinatown thrive. They got the community aspect. I am tired of watching Greektown thrive. I am tired of watching little Italies around the country thrive. We, the black man and woman, have over $1 trillion that comes in through our community, and we are the ones who cry broke all the time. When I come to you about the community aspect of this thing, I'm coming to you, pleading to you, let's get together. Yes, the money is a byproduct. Yes, do we need to learn the art of economics and pulling our resources so that we can have thriving communities, so that we can have everything in our community that we allow others to come in and to provide for us. It's disappointing. When are we going to be sick or tired of being sick of tired? I'm sharing this with you because I heard a lot of conversations and I heard a lot of people who want to give up. But guess what, family? Look at the sacrifice of those who went before us. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Denmark Vesey. Sadly, most of us did not walk with them when they were amongst us. They lifted up their names once they were gone. Ask around, study. The churches did not want Martin Luther King to even come to their churches because what he represented was revolution, standing up and being freedom fighters, and they didn't want to lose their comfort zone with Massa. They didn't want trouble with Massa. So when he died, you can go every major street and there's a Martin Luther King Drive. But there was not a Martin Luther King walk where the masses came together, and this is why he had to go outside of the black community and get with the Jewish community, get with the Women's Live motivation, because his people would not walk with him collectively as a people. They hated Malcolm when he was amongst us. Now Malcolm has schools. Now you got black folks fighting with each other and talking about, well, they killed Malcolm and this and that. Well, you was not there. Your relatives was not there. And they were staying away from Malcolm because Malcolm understood revolution and he understood the time in which he must go into, and he understood the enemy that he had to face. And many was not there. Right now, family, I'm begging you to study the times. I don't want to watch the news. The news is too depressing. All these excuses. The reality is happening while we're not paying attention. Our babies are killing each other at an alarming rate. And our government is helping with coming back and killing us with mutated, generated diseases. We are the target. So our unity is most important. I was told a phrase a long time ago. Organized crime will always be this or unorganized unity. When we come together, unity, we'll destroy organized crime. We'll destroy Satan in his world. The problem is we got too much faith in his world without evidence. Well, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to get me a degree and I'm going to come out and I'm going to thrive. First of all, one, look at the percentage. Of all those who have matriculated through these school systems, got these degrees, and are even working in their fields, can't get jobs in their field, just a small percentage to keep the dream or the lie together. Well, I'm a doctor. You are? I got my doctorate degree. What do you do? What are you healing? Are you healing our community? Or you were just another high-paid slave? I'm a master. I got my master's degrees. What are you mastering? Look at the state of your community. Are you bringing that degree back to master your community? We get these degrees, some of us, and we take these degrees and go off on our own island. We move up out our neighborhoods. We go integrate with others, and we did nothing to build our own. So this family and friends sharing concept was a gift to God to say, I will take things away from you, but I will give you something in return. So many of us have false sense of understanding that, well, I'm going to go on my 9 to 5. It's been good to me. Don't worry. When this pandemic hits again, don't worry. He's going to whoop us again. And the looting will get greater because panic will be widespread. Death will be greater. Why? Because we did nothing to secure our homes and our community. I am proud to say, family, since I joined this concept and learned more about the concept, I have made more friends and like-minded people who want to build the community. The money is the byproduct of that. Yes, we need money to thrive and to do things for ourselves, but look at the relationships created. Anybody in this group that is 40 and over, we should learn from our mistakes because we grew up with the community dynamic, even if we were poor. Our children don't know that. And where do they get that from? Us. I hear black folks now who have grown up with that concept say, I don't fool with a lot of people. Guess what your children are saying? I don't fool with nobody. Only me. I rock with self. And they're easy to pull a gun out on one another and take human life because there's nothing backing it. If that boy or girl that he put a gun out on, we grew up together, we rocked together, we ate together, my parents know each other, we have something in common together, it wouldn't be so easy to pull that trigger. But we teaching them this unity by way of our language and our activity. I ain't got many friends, and I can't trust a lot of people. Well, brother, most of us don't trust ourselves. So we have to get rid of language, and we got to get rid of actions that support this unity in our communities. I'm going to post this in some of our communities. I'm watching these boards fail. I'm watching people trying to save their boards doing the same activity. Stop. The answer is given to you. Unite or die. That's simple. Unite or die. Me and my rock solid friends, we joined other communities for the purpose of for the purpose of saving our community by uniting with other communities. We tried it. We were the ones who were trying to, and I'm giving you an example. I'm not patting ourselves on the back. We tried it. We came into other communities to try to help our community by uniting communities. But we were the one reaching out our hands and people were closing their hands. It's not rocket science, family. Bottom line, we must change our thought process. The scripture says this, be ye not conformed. Many of us are conforming to this world and its ways. We're getting drunk more. Homosexuality and lesbianism is skyrocketing. Now, when I'm saying these things, I'm not telling you that I'm the critic. I'm just telling you the reality. If we're not procreating as men and women, and men are getting together, and women are getting together, where is the multiplication and being fruitful and multiplying? We're getting drunk, coming back sober. We created more of a problem from running away from our problems. We get high. We're not living as long. Our children are not coming up. A lot of our children are not coming out their teens. And fortunately, if they get past their 20s, because we're on islands. Be not conformed, which we're doing, to Satan and his world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds. Think differently. Stop saying old stuff. It hasn't worked for you. That's the rule of insanity. Well, I don't know a lot of people. We'll get to know a lot of people. I don't fool a lot of people. Well, stop messing around with fools. And don't be one yourself. This concept, whether you say you believe it or not, you believe. You just believe in it in Satan's world. You don't believe it in black folks. Let me give you an example of that. You go to work, you punch a card, somebody up top is getting most of the money. If they can afford to pay you and your coworkers $20 an hour, imagine the money they are making off of you to be able to pay you that salary. They make you jump through hoops to get the job. And they make you jump through hoops to maintain the job. And they put you in a toxic environment where everybody is crabs in the barrel to stab each other in the back, causing daily stress, wearing down on our mind, our heart, and our physical. In our 30s, looking like we're 50. Why? Waking up every day dreading to go to work, but it feels like it's a necessity, tricking ourselves it's a necessity to go to work in those plantations so that we can eat. Harriet Tubman said this, I have freed 1,000 slaves. I would have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. We don't even know that we are slaves. But let me give you a couple of indications of what you are. Who tells you to go to work? Who gives you your days off? Who gives you your pay? Who takes it away? You are not in control of your own destiny. You became a part of a plantation. And when Harriet Tubman, like many black folks have come to us and say, come up out of that plantation, we have the wherewithal to do it ourselves. I don't want to leave Master. Master make me feel secure, but that's false insecurity because Master is waiting to replace you with another slave at the drop of a dime. You're expendable to Master. but you're not expendable to your family and friends. So I beg you all, I'm begging you, come together. Come together, my people. When this pandemic that is about to be unleashed on us again, because most of us are disobedient. Most of us, when we're told to shelter at home, even when the government came out and started opening up the doors, it was still a decree to say shelter at home. We couldn't, because we didn't build a home life. So our home life was deplorable. It was boring. So I'm going to get off. God has given us an absolute beautiful tool, and we cannot be defeated in the tool that God gave us. Look at all the people that went before us and paid a price. Stop saying what you are. Stop saying that you're a Christian. It's not what you profess, it's what you practice. I'm Christ-like. Are you? Jesus says, any man will be my disciple, will pick up his cross and follow me. Are you picking up your cross? Well, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. It's too hard waking up black folks. He didn't stop even on his death. He even pleaded on his death. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. But the work of going out and redeeming and saving your people, you can never say that's too hard when somebody has already paid sacrifices for you to do so. Even Jesus, same people that he was trying to redeem, said Hosanna in one day, and shortly after they said crucify him. If we give up on this work of uniting our people, we are dooming our future generations to death at a rapid rate. There's no way to get around that. Our children do not believe in community if they don't have an example of it before them. Once they have an example before them, they will stop almost overnight killing one another. So did this process, family and friends sharing, come about at the right time? Absolutely. Did some people come in and do some things that was not, that was unsavory? Absolutely. Criminals come into everything. But you don't stop going to your job. You don't. Many of your job corporations, they go to jail for white collar crimes, for committing crimes and fraud on the job, but you still go to that. Presidents are looked at and scrutinized for a lot of criminal activities, but you still say I'm an American citizen. You keep going to everything that's failing you, but you give up quick on the black community and coming together. Them niggas, them, yeah. This is your brethren that's struggling with you. I'm watching people ask people to come into the community for family and sharing and to increase the community, and by proxy we get a return for our reward for doing so. We get financial gain that we can pull our resources. But you say no to that, and then you turn around and ask somebody to borrow some money. Muslims, we are taught that a Muslim is not a Muslim until he wants for his brother that which he wants for himself. So if you want good homes, you want luxury, and you want friendship in all walks of life, you gotta want it for your brother and sisters. Other than that, we just professing what we think we are, but our actions don't bear witness to what we say we are. So with that being said, fam, I'm gonna let you go. I need for all of us to reevaluate our thinking, come together strong, create these relationships so that we can thrive. I ain't trying to sell you on a Susu concept. The Susu concept was from the beginning of time. Evidence. Fruitful and multiply. Noah. I'm going to destroy the world, but I'm going to save everything that you brought in 2 by 2. How can two walk together unless they agree? And number 2, again, if anybody asks you to come in to any community that does not support family and friends sharing, meaning reproducing yourself, going out and getting your people run, that's a selfish, that's a get quick rich scheme that fails very rapidly. This thing only survives by going out and building a community. And since we got multiple communities out here, let's merge the good ones together. In that, there's no failure in what we do. We will get the money, but look at the relationships that we create in the process. Now, the money is just a small portion of it, because now you're saving your future generation lives, because this family is hanging out with that family, and where they was not hanging out, their children seeing each other as enemies, and now they calling each other play cousins. Now they calling each other family, and it's not so quick to put their hands up to each other. We are failing them by not coming together and being selfish. Many of us have not prepared our children to go any further in the economic world. They may, if it's available, to survive off our whatever we left as far as beneficiaries and life insurance, if some of us did that. So I tell you, in order for us to thrive, God is forcing us to come together. And for those who don't want to come together, die off in the wilderness. But the ones that's serious about community, we will be the victor. Sometimes we have to start off as few and build up. But never in your life again, as a grown person, say that you don't have a network of people when God gave you trillions of people to network. You just have to reassess your circle, go out and create new relationships if need be. But the first relationship you strive to build is when your immediate family and friends, and some of them are going to wilt away. They are. Because they still want to be slaves, and the freedom fighter don't want to be around slave mentality. And you have to lock yourself into with people who wants to be free. So I hope that this message is conveyed in the spirit that I meant it to be. Stop all this playing, y'all. Come together. Come together now. Go out there with a vigor like you go out and punch somebody else's time clock who don't give a damn about you. Start giving a damn about you and your people. When we do that, we ensure our successes. If you don't have 2 people in this world that rocks with you and want to save our communities and want to do this by empowering ourselves, then you need to reevaluate your circle. We don't force people to come together, but be the instrument and a tool to be the glue to come together. Everybody we watch around us is struggling. Not everybody, but a lot of us. But there's no plan to come up out of that struggle, so they go play lottery. They go to the casino They waste a whole lot of money on nothing, but they won't come together and say, hey, you got $100, I got $100. Let's do something with that. No, I'm gonna give my $100 to the lottery. You get your $100 to the casino, and then we hopefully we'll come up. Just using $100 as an example. Please, family, come together. Wake up today and make a verbal commitment to yourself. I will save my generations by coming together with like-minded people so that we can build communities that my children can be safe and my grandchildren can be safe to go into. And we're not only building by relationships, that's the primary function. But now we have financial wherewithal within the communities because we're sharing our finances amongst each other and we're growing it and we're buying property by property. This community becomes ours. We police our own community. But it has to start by laying the foundation of coming together and going out and get your people. Now, once you go get them, now you test them because we're being tested right now. Okay? God, I sat you down. You didn't come together. What else must I take from you? I done took human life from you. I done took these employments from you. What else must I take from you for you to wake up and come together? By way of our looting, by way of our criminal activity for revolting, this devil is going to unleash its military on our communities, and we're going to be losing our life wholesale. Come together and stop the foolishness. Stop making excuses. You can absolutely go ahead and get two people, and if you can't got two people in your immediate circle, it's telling you something about your circle. Go to another circle. Family ain't family by blood alone. Blood represents relatives. Family is family by action. People who love you, who will rock out for you, that's family. Some of it is not blood tied. So may God continue to bless us. Go wake up with a new lease on life, new vigor. Don't stop. My goal is a little bit different. I do want to see the families come together 2 by 2. But mine is a little bit different. I'm trying to get these communities together 2 by 2. So that we stop being our own enemy of ourselves. If you ask Chinatown in Chicago to reach out to Chinatown in LA, they're going to rock together. Because they understand the community concept. This is why this concept, I want you all to understand this, is new to many of us. So be patient. We haven't grasped the community concept strong enough that all the kinks are worked out just yet. But be patient. Like you're patient in Satan's world for nothing. Be patient with each other and go out and get your people. We will master it like we mastered everything on earth. We are the mothers and fathers of civilization. Our children, the Caucasian, our children, the Asian, our children, the Mexicans, are doing better than the parents. And we the master of it all. Out of black comes all. So now, wake up and be the parents that we're supposed to be. And let's go unite our communities together. You all continue to go out there and do your best. And don't let nothing discourage you. I don't care if you try to unite with 10 people today. Try to unite with 20 people tomorrow. It will pay off for you. Not just financially, but the relationships that you will build. And you build more relationships with people that you're willing to go and labor with for a worthy cause. This is a worthy cause. So my mission is to try to unite the communities. I'm good at uniting 2 by 2 on the individual level. God did that for me. I didn't do it for myself. I have a history of integrity, honesty, and servitude to my people. I did by the grace of God. He allowed me to do things for other people that I didn't know what I was doing at the time, and I didn't want anything in return. And people remember that. Didn't ask for nothing in return. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't tell you I had a mastermind on it. But he was planting seeds in me to have these relationships where I can go get people and they will follow me because of my history with them. Now I want to create history with these groups so that we can merge and stop operating on islands and have some small glimmers of success, but we collectively will have success in large, impactful numbers. May God continue to bless you all. Pray that I can get this out to you all in a timely manner. That it's not too late. We give up on everything that's towards our salvation, but we give up nothing in Satan's world. Well, I'm just going to go back to work. And I'm going to go to that miserable place, and I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm going to struggle to pay my bills. I'm going to struggle to have a couple pennies left over so I can do a little bit of traveling if I could do that. I'm going to avoid some of these phone calls because they're my creditors and all that. You're doing nothing to replace the problem, but still doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change. God gave us the family and friends sharing concept from the beginning. We deviated from it. Let's get right back on it and go out and get our loved ones, our family and friends. And if we don't have those people that's sick right now, leave them in the hospital and go out and get some people that's like-minded. And then you come back and get your people in the hospital and say, you know what? Are you ready now? Have you been through therapy? Let's go. May God continue to bless us, and thank you all for listening.